Hi, I'm Trace with Orbit, and today we'll be looking at the anti-siphon valve, how to troubleshoot, and some of the features that this valve has. Always be sure to flush the line before installing your valves. In order to install an anti-siphon valve correctly, the anti-siphon valve must be installed 6 inches higher than the highest sprinkler head. So when you install the valve has arrows indicating the direction of flow here and here. You want to make sure that the inlet is connected to the inlet and obviously the outlet to the outlet. So this valve features a internal manual on lever. Turn it counterclockwise as viewed from the top to turn the valve on, and clockwise until you feel resistance to turn the valve off. If you were installing the valve to work with an automatic timer, the rotation lever must be set to the off position. You can use this flow control knob to dial the flow down. Viewed from the top, turn it clockwise to reduce the flow, turn it counterclockwise to increase the flow. Always be sure to winterize your system by turning off the main line and draining or blowing the system out. Before disassembling the valve for maintenance or troubleshooting, turn off the main line. If the valve is leaking from the anti-siphon lid, you can remove the anti-siphon lid and check that the seal is in place and free of damage. Replace or install a new one. The anti-siphon lid may also leak if you don't have anything connected downstream to cause it enough back pressure to seal. If the valve is leaking from the lid subassembly, make sure that the 8 lid screws are tight. If the leakage does not cease after tightening the 8 lid screws, remove the lid screws and check for damage on the diaphragm. Inspect the diaphragm for debris or impacted rocks. Replace the diaphragm or install a new one. Remember the spring. Make sure that the 8 lid screws are tight. The valve is leaking from the solenoid assembly. Remove the solenoid by turning counterclockwise. Check that the O-ring that there's no debris. Tighten until you feel resistance. Replace the lever towards the anti-siphon vent. And repressurize. If the valve is leaking where the two halves of the body are joined, You will need to install a new one. If the valve is leaking from the flow control stem, you'll need a new lid subassembly. If the valve is leaking from the inlet or outlet threads, reapply pipe tape. Do not use pipe dope, as many of them are incompatible with the materials used on the valve body. If the valve is not shutting off, confirm that the valve has not been installed backwards, and then confirm that the solenoid rotation lever is turned fully clockwise until resistance is felt. If the valve is still not turning off, check the solenoid to confirm that the plunger is present and that it is not stuck up inside the solenoid. If the solenoid plunger is missing or stuck up inside the solenoid, you will need a replacement solenoid. Other reasons the valve would not shut off would include the diaphragm being fouled open. Check for holes in the diaphragm. You can also look for indentations on the bottom of the diaphragm. There should be a nice even ring where the diaphragm pushes into the seal. You'll need to replace the diaphragm if there is a hole in it. If there's debris, many times you can just clear the debris and replace the diaphragm. If the valve only opens partially, not fully open, check that the flow control is turned fully counterclockwise. Next, confirm that the solenoid does not have freeze damage. A freeze-damaged solenoid may not retract the plunger fully into the solenoid. An undamaged solenoid will fully retract till the face of the plunger is flush with the solenoid surface. Other reasons why a valve would have partial flow would include a missing wire rod that should be present in the flow control stem. You'll need a new lid subassembly.